All right, here we are going live on June 17th, Father's Day. Happy Father's Day for your fathers there. Nobody's come on live yet, so you're listening to the recording, which is fine. But if you do ever want to see me live, you're going to have to do a couple things. Number one, you have to hit the subscribe button and the bell to the right. You're going to have to click on that bell several times until it says receive all notifications. It can go to none, some, or all. It's got to be on all. And then secondly, you got to go to your device, like your PC or your iPad or whatever, and you have to make sure you go to notifications on your settings and make sure that YouTube goes to your front screens for notifications. So anyway, you got some people coming on now. Crazy Eddie, hey, Philip, Cody, SS, Karen, Vivian, Frank. How you guys doing? Happy Father's Day, my friend, says Frank. All right. Happy Father's Day to you all as well. So here we go. We're going to go over a bunch of more Q proofs that he's giving us. And really getting into this. I am exhausted. I had 3 hours sleep last night, an hour and a half on the plane or so, but and have a big day in the next couple of days before I finally get rid of this bearing of a humongous, important, vital meeting for my company on Tuesday. So anyway, the good news is I am at home, so the client's in town. So I got people from Egypt and people from Cairo, Egypt, actually from Moscow, Russia, as well as potentially people from coming in, 3 or 4 people from India, as well as some from Brazil coming in to all present. So it's kind of exciting. I'm excited about it, but it's been a really rough week working through the weekend, which we normally don't have to do, but wanted to make sure I spent some time with you guys. Happy Father's Day to you all. I got to spend time with my son and talk to my daughter several times, and my dad, who's retired in Mexico. It was really awesome to did a hangout where I had my brother and his 2 sons, which were my nephews. Both are pregnant with children. So their Father's Day in the womb. I thought that was cool. So I was hanging out with them and my dad all at the same time. Mexico, California, and then Dallas with my wife and my son. So it was really an awesome thing. But let's get into this. Let's get into these tons of Q posts, guys. And I couldn't post yesterday, obviously, because I worked almost 28 hours, right, type thing. So it made it right. Quite tough. So, but let's look at this. There's just tons of them. I'm going to go all the way back to where we were before, right, where we had just covered. In fact, Q did a couple posts after I went to bed on Friday night. So you can see just the number of posts are just like, whoa, he's busy. And I'm so busy that you're going to have to forgive me. I'm sure a lot of you have watched other videos. And we're going to be kind of going on these without me doing tons of evaluation like I like to do before I post. But this is only my chance I'm going to get for the next 3 or 4 days. So let's dig into it. So I think that there was something really cool that came up. Right, this is the last post I went over last Friday night with you guys, right? And so Miss Saturday. And this was awesome because it just showed all the reporters and the FBI agents. And yes, I did confirm Maggie Haberman was on there, right? So I think it was really early on. Geez, now I'm not going to be able to find it again. But if we just go Control F and go Maggie, I think we'll find it. There she is, New York Times, Maggie Haberman. She's got 3 accounts coming to all her kids. Basically all these people most likely are the Mockingbird media, double agents being paid for basically mimicking the 4 a.m. talking points. Sad stuff. And now they're taking this FBI out to dinner and to events and bribing them for information. So it's just scary stuff. So after I went to bed on Friday night, some very late post here. I think this was the first one. Was right after this big, huge, I think we did review that one, yeah. So that was 15-16. So 15-17 is where we're starting. 15-17 said, read last post. Huber started in November. What else was slated to happen in November? This is Anon. 11-3 Podesta indicted. 11-6 whom indicted? Do they know? Question mark. Now, this is crazy. This is going back to some of the very first posts that Q made. And you can go search on it, right? And IG started long before Huber setting stage. So basically, Horowitz has been investigating this for 10 plus months, right? Huber starts in November, and immediately he starts indicting. Now, these were sealed indictments, which we'll see in a second. Think IG equals FBI. In other words, the Horowitz is just like he's investigating the the I guess the correct procedures and what laws that potentially that the DOJ and FBI broke, but he's an investigator. The prosecutor is Huber of the DOJ, and it's not DC, thank goodness, because DC has all their own laws, crazy stuff that they do there. So I haven't turned on the fan, just way too hot for me, sorry. Probably should have turned on the air conditioner up here. Sometimes it gets really hot up here in the media room. But anyway, let's see. Why are we emphasizing this given the world is watching? Strategic. Or they already know, hence CEO, political mass resignations. Adding up, logical, careful of clickbait. I think this is really important right now that we have all these disinformation agents. And if I just back up a little bit and I come back to this right here and see all the proofs he's given us over the last, couple weeks, he is just slamming all these disinformation agents. How can the Isaac Greens and the some of these guys that are fighting Bill Brown and Alex Jones and Jerome Corsi and all these independent media people that are actually sitting here slamming QAnon as being fake, and then Q's just giving proof after proof after proof, and you've got to be an idiot not to understand it. If you are really a true student and want to understand the truth, you literally are either have some intelligence issues, or you are being influenced by people or lying to you, right? And they're lying to you. I'm not saying they're bad people. They might be getting threatened. So I think we need to be praying for a lot of this disinformation agents that are out there. There's just way too many proofs coming on. We're going to be going over quite a few of them today. But let's get into this. Careful of clickbait. That is so important as we get into this. Now, what is amazing about this, if you just go up to the very top of the Cueanon.pub, I want everybody to be able to do this. You could go to any browser and type to your friend or your mother or your father or whatever and say Cueanon.pub. Boom! Look, this is what it is. Go up to the upper left and search on it. You can filter, and then you can also search. So you can go search on Podesta. Go back early, and you'll see that he said that Podesta was going to be indicted on 11/3, and that Huma was going to be indicted on 11/6. And people were saying Q is false back then because they weren't arrested. There's a big difference between indictment and arrested, right? And indictments can be public or they can be sealed. So likely there were sealed indictments. They went and actually talked with Podesta and Huma, and that's why I had all those questions about why did the Podesta Foundation, or whatever it's called, the lobbying that was one of the most powerful lobbyist group in all of in DC, close its doors. Well, it's probably because of this indictment that they went and showed him, the sealed indictment. So it's sealed to the public doesn't mean it has to be sealed to the person getting busted, right? So or getting indicted, if you will. So here we go. And then this anonymous says, to all those not getting it, 11/3 equals when Huber made the sealed indictment. We know there's 35,000 plus sealed indictments right now, and here we have Huber actually saying, here's Anon saying, hey, Huber actually made a sealed indictment for what? That was obviously for Podesta, and then the Podesta brothers closed their lobbying firm a few weeks later, right? And here's 11/3 when Huber made the sealed indictment, and Q confirms that, saying, well done, Anon. So that's the end of the story, guys. We know what happened is Huber came on in November. He immediately started doing sealed indictments right and left, and one was for Podesta, and probably John Podesta, I'm guessing. I know Tony Podesta ran that firm and closed it down, but I think it's John Podesta, and also Huma indicted, and it could have been both the Podestas. We'll see what happens there, but shows commitment that they finally realized. If you go back to those earlier posts, in fact, I'll probably do that. I shouldn't take all the time because I just don't really have it. But if you go up to this filter and you just type Podesta, right, it's going to give you 11 of those 1,500 posts or drops of Q. It's going to give you 11 of them. And then you can just go hit Control F again. Control F again. It's going to search again, and you say type Podesta again. That's my favorite thing. Filter, get down to the small amount, and then go Control F and search on the same term. Gives me 16 matches. I like to go backwards to the oldest one. So the first time he mentions Podesta. Look, dun-dun, October 31st, 2017. You can see the 15th post. He clearly said there are more good people than bad. The wizards and warlocks inside term will not allow another satanic evil POS control our country. Realize Soros, Clinton, Obama, Putin, etc. are all controlled by 3 families, which we know now as the Rothschilds, who control the banking, the House of Saud, which controlled all the false flags and the gun running and the drug running, and then you had Soros. That's the triangle. And Soros was obviously running all the overthrowing countries. He was political chaos, currency chaos. He overthrew countries. Now he's trying to overthrow the United States. And the 4th family that was removed from Trump's victory, I think, is the Bushes. The Bushes got basically replaced by Soros after they lost their power, right? So now we have 11-3 Podesta indicted, 11-6 Huma indicted. So now everybody was saying, well, they didn't get indicted. They did. They were sealed indictments, and they used these sealed indictments to go work deals with them to get more information. I think that's what's happening. That's why they closed their doors. They knew they were busted once they saw all the sealed indictments. They were guilty. They knew it. They closed their doors and had to do other things. So anyway, that's the way we search. And then you can continue to just click up here, and you'll go to the next one. The next one talks about Podesta. You can read all about the Podestas throughout all this area. And he even asked us on November 3rd, where is Tony Podesta? Where is John Podesta, right? So we can do any type of searches, and that's what the beautiful tool is here that I love to use. And there's other better sites than this, actually. This is the best one I could do to blow up so you guys can see it, though. So that's why I want to make sure that I continue to use this one. This is why I'll continue to use this one. So now I'm going to kill this, all right? If you can just click on this, it's going to clear them all out and give me 1,531 where we are now, right? So let's go down to where we were. So that hopefully shows you and gives you guys some really assurance and no more proof of Q, if I believe, is that we now are understanding that these sealed indictments are related directly. There's a lot of questions. Oh, these sealed indictments are just all kinds of other things. But no, they're related directly to the deep state takedown, to the cabal takedown. You can take that to the bank, and that's obviously confirmed by Q right now. And so that is really exciting. So now let's and that's why I wanted to actually record last night, or not record, but to stream last night, but it was just impossible when I've got 3 hours sleep, right? So here we go. Q, thank you for your service to our great country. You have restored true hope in the hearts of many patriots. God is with you and all of us. And then Q reposts that and says, no one person is above another. A humble man here, or team, right? We are in this together. Where we go one, we go all. Q. So that's the way they ended Friday night, very late. You can see it was, 1:47. Maybe that was Saturday morning. So then now we have all the posts from the day, 15:20. Is Ryan still there because he's going to support POTUS? He basically answers yes with this. Who brings the votes in the House floor? This is basically back from June 12th. Who decides? Why is this important? What is coming? Full weight of the House. This is real key. Another proof. Full weight of the House. Some must remain clean distance from what is about to happen. So basically they're trying to keep POTUS from being all involved and looking like he is doing a political witch hunt. And so the political witch hunt's on him. He's trying to do it correctly. Huber was an Obama appointee, right? You got Horowitz was an Obama appointee. And now you have Sessions, who he's distanced himself from. Trey Gowdy, he kind of distanced himself from. He's also distanced himself here as well with Ryan and the House. And so, yeah, Paul Ryan did make it 180 and wants files this week or else. Exactly right, Frank. That's what we're getting into. So if you click this, he says, do you believe in coincidence? Have faith. So Q's wanting you to have faith. All these disinformation agents, stop listening to them. The Ida Spy, just stop following them on Twitter. Start following the truth here. And Q's giving us plenty of stuff and plenty of information to follow. So you click on this, you'll bring up this Fox News article right here. And this is Nunes saying, did somebody actually try to remove that text message from the FBI? This is really interesting. Make sure this is the right one. No. This is the wrong one. Let me bring this one up. That's another cool one, by the way. The Nunes review was great. Trey Gowdy did another one. That's great. So this is the Trey Gowdy one. It says GOB will hit the FBI DOJ with full arsenal of constitutional weapons if they don't comply with the subpoena, Gowdy warns. And he's talking about Ryan doing this. If you go look at this, this is Trey Gowdy. A little repaint here in a second. Trey Gowdy rips FBI report by Inspector General. Because people are saying it was a nothing burger. The only reason nothing burger is they took some of the real bad stuff and covered it up with redactions and or changing it up. But there's still tons of damage and stuff despite that, which is going to end up hugely backfiring on them, right? So here's the Trey Gowdy thing. I'm not going to listen to that, but it says, House Oversight Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy told Fox News that House Speaker Paul Ryan led a meeting Friday night and basically said that they're going to come down with a full what? They're going to come down with the full weight of the House. The exact wording Trey Gowdy used was real similar to that, by the way. It was like the full arsenal of constitutional weapons. So the House is coming down on them. Q told us about that on the 12th, and it happened. So again, it's a proof. It is a Q proof. A lot of them coming. In fact, I started tracking these just lately for a while. I just started, if you go to this is my notes program I use that on my phone or whatever. But if I go to Cueanon and I look at the Cueanon confirmations, I just started, this is way back. I started tracking all these. But lately he's on fire. It's like 24 of them. Like just recently, the proofs that we've gotten is these new pictures above Alaska that were showing him that were showing him going from G7 to Singapore, right? We have the 4 bullet points in the North Korea agreement, and that was the 4 bullets that were in the upside down gun on the Q post the whole week before. You have Trump misspelling missile and stopped, showing us that a missile was fired at him, coordinated with Q's picture, right? And so we have Trump and Q coordinating here again. You have Q drops on the full weight of the House. That's what we just talked about, right? When talking about Ryan on June 12th to June 17th. So basically that came on the 12th, as you saw back there, right? This was on the 12th. So it's just shocking that people are still trying to say that he's false. It's just kind of crazy to me. when you study the details, you just know it's not, right? So again, this was on the 12th, June 12th, and then June 17th is when this article comes out. See if I can, 19 hours ago, right? So that's just a fact, guys. There's tons of evidence here. And so here, there's several ones we're about ready to get to. June 15th, Q tells 13 individuals that will have private emails. So this was way back in January 15th. He told us that 13 individuals had private emails, including Hillary Clinton and Obama, also James Comey and others. And then Trump refused them as the 13 angry Democrats, even though some of them were fake Republicans like McCain, right? And Comey. And then June 14th, the IG report discussed 13 people. So if you go back, you can go see this. The IG report talks about 13 people having these private emails, including James Comey. And so he was investigating Hillary for using a private email for business purposes when he was using a private email for business purposes. Is that a conflict of interest or what? He was colluding. He was selling out the country with Hillary, and he's investigating her. And of course, he's going to exonerate her before he even interviews her. He has to, or he's basically going to bust himself. So this is going to be great, guys. This is all coming out. The mainstream fake news media is making this look like a nothing burger when it's huge. And when it comes out the unredacted stuff and it comes out to show they changed stuff, and there's massive other stuff that's coming out, like the fact that they literally were deleting some of the texts that were the most damning when they gave them to the House. So we've got a complete cover-up. And so that's what Nunes is talking about. Do you want to be part of the cover-up, or do you want to be part of the cleanup? And so clearly Rod Rosenstein showing himself as part of the cover-up and not the cleanup, right? So Q posts 7-minute delta. We're going to see that in a second, where he says in plus 7 minutes, he's going to say Happy Father's Day. And you'll see that in just a second. This was a post from Trump, Happy Father's Day from the White House. And it happened to be exactly 7 minutes after Q posted it. We're about ready to get to that. So let's go through the rest of the Q posts here. Whew, so much to go over. I could do this for 2 hours, but we're going to have to speed it up because I got to get to bed. Here we go. Here's that 1521. Comments by Devin Nunes on Fox News this morning. Mr. Rosenstein, Mr. Ray have to decide. Are they going to be part of the cleanup crew? We're just talking about this, right? Or part of the cover-up crew? Devin Nunes at Fox News. You can go listen to that right here. I'll link it on a great, worth the 3 minutes, right? Because he basically talked, are you going to be part of the cleanup or part of the cover-up? And then awaiting news today regarding when spying really began. Right, so we know it started way back in December 2015 when Stroke and Page were in London. DOJ didn't know a month ago. Why didn't they reveal immediately at POTUS? So then POTUS puts this basically saying this. You can go see this on his Twitter. Mr. Rosenstein, Mr. Ray at Devin Nunes on at Fox News. Don't get docs that have been asked for. Monday's docs should start flowing with plan by Wednesday morning or hell to pay. Not going to be pretty. We can hold in contempt. We can impeach. Thinks we are getting close to there. POTUS Cueanon. We have some arsenal and sounds like he has been ready to go for some time now. Do not fear. Stand united and strong. Where we go one, where we go all. Thank you, Q and POTUS. So that was an anon that posted that long message basically saying, hey, look at what happened today. Right? Pretty exciting day here on the 17th. And then Q basically reposted that, just confirming that, yep, that's exactly right. The full arsenal of the House is going to come down on the DOJ if they don't start giving the documents up. And I don't think they will. I think they're going to have to hold them in contempt. And so now, here's another one that says, anonymous, saying, about time Congress acted like it still has some power. We'll see. Intelligence branch has had it neutered with so-called national security. That's exactly right. So the false, fake national security of the fake news CIA that controls the fake news media, basically keeping the intelligence branch in charge over Congress and their law-abiding powers, right? And so Q replies to that saying yes, basically, right? Confirming it, saying Google operated, provided undeniable proof. And I think they're talking about the server they set up in North Korea that had the cabal of these 13 people talking with these private emails. How do you share what you already know legally? This is something that people say, why don't they just classify everything and arrest everybody? Well, no, we want to make this reliable. As American Patriot says, big pedo bus a day. Yes. Gosh, there's several. I think this whole week there's been 3 or 4. So it's good stuff coming out here. Those who don't act now know they cannot hide the reasons why. What a wonderful day. So this is what's happening. This is the plan, guys. It's basically to use the proper sealed indictment processes, getting deals, working things, getting more information, getting airtight cases, making sure you don't declassify and go arrest people and throw information out that can't be used legally now in the cases because it becomes such public information. So we gotta be patient and trust the plan. And it's working beautifully. Now here's this 1523. I went and looked at this. It looks like he reposted way back another post about the bike and the stroll, talking about that. So I'm not sure exactly what that is. You guys might be able to help me there. Here's another one, a brand new piece of information that's coming out. He had this research this last week. It says on 1524, he basically posted the roommate of Obama. And then you have this picture here and comparing it with this picture here. And basically says, can you confirm Q? It says track history. So whether this is the right person or not, I've got a lot of conflict of information on this, but a lot of people are tracking this to the ambassador of India. It is most likely his. That's, I think, what Just Informed Talk. Somebody texted. Haven't had any chance to watch any videos, but somebody had sent that to me on Twitter. But bottom line is we're going to find out who this dude is. We're going to see he's probably involved in the Muslim Brotherhood. He's corrupt Pakistani, and that he was actually in the U.S. administration with no background checks. That's clearly what he's pointing to. Listen carefully. What will this week bring? And this is a little Twitter account. Now, this has created a lot of controversy because if you go to this, it actually has a little thing listening to Obama. And I'm going to do a fair use notice because I think it's fair. It's pretty short. And I think it's important for us to listen to this because it's creating such controversy now. I want to kind of address it. And Serial Brain 2 has a pretty detailed post on it. I thought this was the Obama one. So this is what I already showed you guys. This is where Nunes basically says, are you part of the cleanup or are you part of the cover-up, right? So we'll get to the other one I was going to show you in a second. Here it is. Here's some other ones. This is basically an Anon posting something on 1526 again. This is again about 11 a.m. Eastern time today. Q, Father's Day. You are furthering the divine stride of our founding fathers. May you feel their blessing and may they shower keen intelligence, power, and safety upon you. Here's Trump saying, my supporters are the smartest, strongest, most hardworking, and most loyal that we have seen in our country's history. It is a beautiful thing to watch as we win elections and gather support from all over the country as we get stronger. So does our country, best numbers ever. Thank you and God bless Q. So basically Q just reposting a tweet there and just acknowledging Father's Day. And then here's another proof. Another one, guys, today. 1527. And this is interesting. And people are arguing this isn't a proof. Well, it's not a proof that there's criminality. What there is, it's a proof of just more proof of Q is what I think is what it's really talking about. So basically, this is basically talking about the Congress June 14th letter to Michael Horowitz from the House Republicans, a bunch of the House Republicans, basically saying, we are concerned that during this time, people may have changed the report, talking about the IG report, in a way that obfuscates your findings. Per Congress and Oversight Authority, we request you supply your original drafts along with the final published form. Now, we know POTUS has it because Q told us that. So I would imagine this is the post he told us that back on the 13th. POTUS is in possession of and reviewing the original IG unredacted report. That's what they asked for. The modified IG unredacted report that RR gave, and then basically the one we got was the RR version and redacted. So we got the crappy one, right? And it still has bombshells in it, like Stroke saying we will stop him from becoming president 4 days before he said we need an insurance policy. Of course, that text was deleted before it was given to Congress. So the cover-up is being uncovered. That's what's kind of cool about this. Let's keep going here. Classified. And so that was the main point that he's reporting from that. And then they go to Trump's tweet again. That is on June 5th. Right? This is earlier. He says, what is taking so long with the Inspector General's report on crooked Hillary and slippery James Comey? Numerous delays. Hope report is not being changed and made weaker, which it was. There are so many horrible things to tell. The public has the right to know. Transparency. So he's basically soliciting the people that he can distance himself from, Trump can, so they don't think it's a political witch hunt. Because it's not. It's just the search for truth, the truth for honesty, and holding people accountable. And who's going to hold people accountable? Horowitz, Huber, obviously Sessions. I think also Mueller. But then obviously what he's talking about here is the House coming down and getting this stuff from the crooked Rod Rosenstein, and he's being controlled by the cabal, right? So Rod Rosenstein's being told what to do. It's becoming very obvious right now. Now we go to the next one, 1527. This is kind of a cool post. I think this was Barcelona. So the world is watching. So I think if everybody just posted right now what country they are from, right? It's crazy how many people are not from the United States. We've got people from Canada and Australia, a lot of the Five Eyes places, right? Europe and New Zealand, etc. And here we are in Barcelona, Spain, right? The world is watching. Truth, light, Q. So the Cueanon thing is, now that all these proofs are coming out, all the people that were trying to be disinformation agents are going to be massively embarrassed. We welcome them back. Hey, if they will just eat their crow and come in and jump in and start helping, that is awesome. But they are complete frauds. We know it. So you've lied. You're either threatened, lied, or you just misunderstood. Okay, and we'll forgive all that. but we have way too much proof for you to be messing around with people's minds. This is too important. This is the Second American Revolution. Don't be messing with it. Here we are. We're talking about 1529. This is the one where this mobile Twitter. This is the one where it talks about, I believe, a little snippet that's not actually a post. But listen to this. Now, there's a couple of things I want you to understand. Number one, this is misspelled. Bilderberg is misspelled, as you'll see in a second. Secondly, it's not really what Obama said, but it's what somebody interpreted what the coded messages meant, which you'll see from Serial Brain 2 in a second. But listen to this fair use notice on what supposedly Obama had said at Bilderberg, but it wasn't. It was actually a speech in, I think, Germany or somewhere in Europe, and they took this and kind of pulled it together. But this was supposedly... Q posted this, so why did he post it? It's a big controversy. Here you go.
And for the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. That order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Okay, so now people read that and go, I cannot believe he said that. Well, he didn't. Okay, so, but potentially coded-wise, he did. And that may be why the Happy Father's Day message went to Obama. So I'll keep an eye on this, but there's a lot of discussions here. I'm going to go over the Serial Brain 2 review of that, because you can see he basically replied to that. The Cueanon goes, holy smokes, they are in for it. You really have it all. And he basically says Happy Father's Day, kind of almost confirming it, right? When we know it's fake. So a lot of people are started bailing on Q. Obviously some of the weak-minded people, it's like, we haven't even decoded this yet, and you're bailing on him after he just gave us 5 proofs this week, and now you're confused about what he's trying to do here, and you're bailing because you're afraid of the mainstream media twisting this. I don't care. The mainstream media is going to twist everything. That's not applicable. Okay, they're going to twist everything. So quit trying to think you're smarter than Q and that Q shouldn't be doing certain things, right? So here we are in 1531, where he takes this, an Anon now posts the whole thing that was done on July 31st, 2016. Obama's speech was given at the Bilderberg Group in the conference in Brussels, Belgium. This is, okay, and May 21st. So then if you go look at this, you look at the transcript, you compare it to this, and it's clear that... what he actually said, that's probably not an actual recording, right? So why would he do this? That's the big question, right? This was sent by a German friend. And this may be the smaller clip here, and later Q puts the bigger clip. I think that's what it is. So this is that same smaller clip, and then but a different copy of it. And then this is Q basically giving the big longer clip. If you go click on this, it's actually like a 30-minute video of a boring speech from Obama, basically talking all his globalist crap, but in a much softer way. But we'll see from Serial Brain 2 what he's thinking that is. I think in Serial Brain 2 is like, I got some Twitters about, it might be Flynn or Flynn Jr. It's somebody inside. There's nobody can be this smart, because he's basically deciphering and putting the stuff together for us, right? Here's a USA Today article about Saturday Night Live, Charles Barkley, Alex Rodriguez, and the Champion sketch. And basically, this is kind of funny because they seem to mention Q and being awake in it. I'm not going to replay this because I'll probably get strikes and all that type of stuff. But you can go look at this. I'll link to it. Q linked to it, right? So you can go to Cueanon.pub and go look at it for yourself. But I think they talk a little bit there about, I think that's the one where they actually talked about Q and said, but you're not awake, when some statement. So again, sorry I haven't spent the time to really decipher a lot of these things. Here's a 1533. Q saying that anti-Q talk is about to go mainstream in the biggest way, right? And here's another Snopes article slamming Q, right? So you know when Snopes, who's a bought out group, plus Snopes building algo to now track and refute all claims as false. So, and I think that's probably a logarithm, right? to now track and refute all claims as false. So anything Q says is going to be false now, according to Snopes, right? And if you know Snopes, if you say they say something's false, it means it's true. If it's true, it means it's false. Pretty easy way to know about them because they are completely bought out and sold for. And here we go into 1534. Here's the Snopes article again, and he reports it and says, for a LARP, we sure do get a lot of coverage, right? So if he was a AI, like Alex Jones is saying, or if he just, or like a anti-school / Isaac Green saying, oh no, it's a different Q now, then why is everybody still trying to why is he still giving massive proofs to show he's side by side with Trump? And number two, why in the heck is everybody still after him? Because they don't put energy and time into stuff that's wrong. They put into things like Pizzagate that's true that they need to discredit, right? So must be all the original picks. 7 Delta Today. This is interesting. This is, again, 7 Delta Today, word for word, plus 7 POTUS. And this is what I showed you earlier. If you go back to here, this post by Trump was exactly 7 minutes after Cueanon posted this. A similar, well, you can say Happy Father's Day, and 7 minutes later, Cueanon says it, and then POTUS says it 7 minutes later. That's today, guys. We're getting 3 proofs today. Okay, how many days in a week? Enjoy the show, Q. And so, in the next one, we'll kind of go over that a little bit more, I believe. And now this is more back to the Snopes thing. Snopes is run by the left, anything but impartial fact checkers. The more they attack Q, the stronger we become. Review the lawsuit. Review GoFundMe plea. So this is, if you go look at Snopes lawsuits and their GoFundMe plea and the financial disclosure, review the formation date, review the initial investors. They are completely controlled. Snopes is not a fact checker. They're basically part of the Mockingbird media and part of Soros's organization trying to overthrow America. So if anybody throws you a Snopes article saying you're a conspiracy theorist, it's laughable. It's what it is. And for anybody that's any near awake, this is the proof that we just talked about. Q posted on today at 12:48, right? And here we are on 12:55, exactly 7 minutes later. Donald J. Trump posts Happy Father's Day right after Q says it's Happy Father's Day, after he warned us back on the earlier that, hey, 7 minute delta there's going to be, plus 7 POTUS. How many days in the week? So bottom line is that just getting more proofs, guys. That's all there is to it. And then there's a couple other things happens here. It's funny that Q saying trolling is fun. And so they're basically trying to get the Congress to do some things before it's out. So let me go through these two. Why was the FBI sick loser, Peter Strzok, working on a totally discredited Mueller team of 13 angry and conflicted Democrats when Strzok was giving crooked Hillary a free pass, yet telling his lawyer, Lisa Page, that will stop Trump from becoming president? Witch hunt. This is the new IG report bombshell, saying that there was, after she said, President Trump's not going to become president, is he? And then Strzok replied back, we'll stop him. When the bombshell is that tweet was not provided several months ago when all the rest of the tweets were. It was deleted. Who deleted it? That's important, right? And that's one of the things about cover-up versus cleanup. There's a huge cover-up going up right now by Rod Rosenstein and the DOJ. Another post tweet by Trump. The Democrats should get together with their Republican counterparts and work something out on the border security and safety. Don't wait until after the election because you are going to lose. That is POTUS's message. Okay, guys, we're done with this. I'm getting exhausted, so I'm going to have to move on. Tons of news I was going to go over. I'm just not going to have to go over it all. I did want to point you to a couple of quick things, though, is that I got to show you the Alex Rodriguez could not stop breaking during hilarious. I was just showing that to you guys a second ago. here is a whole thing that Serial Brain 2 talked about, this decoding of the Bilderberg. See, it says B versus D. And there's other things that happened way back during the Emmys where the D equals 4 and it allows you to decode things. I don't have time to get into all this, guys. You're going to have to, I'll post this. You can go look at Serial Brains 2's post about this cool stuff that he was talking about. That was a lot of controversy today. Now, and by the way, that's on the Great Awakening subreddit of reddit.com. So that's how you will find that. Look for Serial Brain 2. And there's all kinds of great articles. He did a 2-point series last time I haven't been able to report on. That was fantastic. That I got through the first one and part of the second one. Dirty cop Rod Rosenstein spotted leaving the White House after a 2.5-hour meeting on the G report with the White House. So that's kind of an interesting thing. I think it was a Serial Brain 2 thing I wanted to show you. Obama potentially dressing up as Moloch, if that's him. There's a lot of news here. General Flynn actually. Sorry guys, I'm just too tired. I'm gonna have to move on to go to a prophecy real quick. Let me do that because I just can't skip this stuff because this stuff has really got me exciting. So if I just kill the Cueanon here, let me move into this real quick. And this is Full Circle by Mark Taylor, given on to him on 19th of October of 2016. Right, and it says, the Spirit of God says, Russia, that's right, Russia. I will use Russia, the United States of America, and her allies to take the Fourth Reich called ISIS. For it has come full circle again. That's right, again. The New World Order is trying to rise and take its place, just like they did in World War II, using the Nazis. They will try again using ISIS. For this plague is spreading, but not for long, for they will be wiped out for their wrongs. For just as World War I, America and her allies came from the west and Russia came from the east, so shall it be again to slay the so-called beast, and it will be brought down to the least. Some will say, why would I use Russia? I am not the God of the cosmos. I will use anyone and any nation I choose, whether some like it or not. I will not be put in a box. The Spirit of God says, the ties that were severed between America and Russia will begin to mend, and they will take on this so-called Goliath, and with one stone shall slay it with all those that are behind it. For it is not just ISIS that will fight, but the elite, the globalists, and the Illuminati who will be exposed by my light. For they are the enemy to the world and my agenda. They shall fall with a mighty blow so that my gospel will begin to flow. I always like to do this to make it bigger for you guys. I just forgot to do that. For they wear their flag as if it were a prayer shawl. Make sure you can see it. This was just checking that. So that they will be taken down with my shock and awe. For freedom and liberty will begin to ring, and the people will begin to sing as healing and light come from the wings. My people rejoice and shout, for my gospel is coming and will go throughout all the earth. All the nations will know this is why my America was birthed. All right, let's pray a little bit. This is just amazing to me, guys, just to see how this stuff already happened. We pretty much wiped out using Russia and the United States together. But I just think it's exciting that they're saying that it's not going to be just the ISIS being knocked out, but the elite, the globalists, and the Illuminati will be exposed by my light. This is Mark Taylor saying this in October. I mean, and people didn't even, it used to be complete conspiracy theorists. There was the Illuminati. And these elite and globalists being the Illuminati is now being exposed, and it's exciting to see that. With that, guys, I'm going to pray and wrap it up. Getting a sore throat, not feeling too good. So, Heavenly Father, just thank you so much for allowing us to understand how you're acting on this nation and this world, Lord. We just, please continue to reveal truth to us. There's so much disinformation out there, Lord. Please, everybody that's listening to me, everybody that's on the Great American Board, I pray you give them wisdom. If there's any false information, we're able to weed it out. People that are trolling and are being dishonest, Lord, we can weed them out of not only the boards, but just out of our lives, Lord, for a while. We pray for the many more to come, though, and understand who you are, the true God, and also understand what the truth is about the situation with Donald Trump and the deep state. And Lord, we just pray that the true corruption gets revealed completely to where it's completely open and we can all see it. Lord, it's so hard to be in the know and understand the truth when so many of our loved ones and our friends and family think we're foolish, Lord, but we love you more than we do our reputation. We love you knowing that you're going to use us, and Lord, that will all be vindicated at a future time. Lord, just please allow this plan of your healing of this nation and this world to continue. Please do not let Satan come and roar back and take control of this world. We just trust you, Lord. And it's such a privilege for you to be sharing how you're doing it so explicitly with us. Thank you, Lord. That is such a privilege, and it's such a privilege to pray to you directly through Jesus Christ. We say these things in his mighty name. Amen. All right, guys, I'm just going to take a few seconds to say hi and hit the sack here. Exactly. I know. Fat Fox Acid. Don't think I've seen you. Everyone is getting sick. Yeah, bless the Lord, oh my soul. Joanne, Rory, and any disagreement. Justin, how are you doing, Justin? Let's see. We got Philip and Vivian and Mike and Shield. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and I love you all. I hear you, Shield. In Yeshua's name, says Theophan, I think it is. Ava, have a restful night and take throat medicine. I hear you. Feel better, Rick. All right, guys. Man, this is fun stuff. I wish I had more time. I'm sure I am going to be in San Jose if I don't get sick. I'm going to be there for sure on Friday. So those of you who can come and see me in San Jose would love it. So I think you know that. Let me just quickly show you. So go to acnevents.com or sayininc.com, ACN Events, ACN space events, and just do a Google search. You can find it. We'll be selling at a stadium. Awesome Sunday morning service. Awesome 2.5 days of personal development training. This company my wife is doing as a home business is really doing well. You can get Verizon and Sprint and your energy bills and your DirecTV and Dish and the Innovator of the Year on home security and automation. And then also for your businesses, you can get all the same services. You can get cable and internet and home phone, which a lot of people have for international calling. But probably this was my favorite one, Novia, because Square is owned by Jack Dorsey and Google now, I think, right? Total Global's company. They overcharge you like mad. It's not very secure. Here they have a much secure solution. It's the credit card processor of the year last year. Much cheaper. So if you see anybody using Square, if you ever use Square, so contact me. So just go to the connection and either contact me. It'll go to my email at feedingkidscharity@gmail.com, or you can fill out the survey and my wife or I will get back to you. See if we can help you. Kind of a win-win-win. We feed kids for every time you pay a select bill or sign up. It gets my wife's business help. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. But most importantly is you save money. Why not save money and feed kids at the same time, right? Just makes sense. And if you want to learn about the business opportunity to help others do the same thing, come to San Jose next weekend. Friday night, 3 o'clock it starts. $159 for 2.5 days of great personal training. Would love to see you guys there. Anyway, Friday night we're going to have a Where You Go One, Where You Go All dinner. And I haven't announced exactly what it's going to be yet, but I need to know who's going to be there. So again, connect with me either on Twitter and again, it's at Blessed to Teach on Twitter. So here's my at Blessed to Teach on Twitter. I think I have 20,000 followers or so, but only 3,000 followers here. So if I get kicked off YouTube, please connect with me here. And again, it's at Blessed to Teach, And it's feedingkidscharity@gmail.com. You can do that just from a link of the survey and just say contact me. But I'd love to connect with you guys soon. I'm going to go get some sleep. God bless you guys. Remember, we have more Q proofs almost every day from him now, so we can trust him. This is going to be a fun ride as we take down the deep state. Love you guys. God bless you. See you next time.